What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to JY's Adventures. In this video, we got another video from Cinema Summary, how to beat the evil animatronics in Willy's Wonderland. Y'all know I'm liking these Cinema Summary videos, man. The smarts, the intelligence, bro. The analyses. We about to hop right into it. Link to the original videos down in the description. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Without any further ado, let's go.
You're locked inside a restaurant full of killer animatronics who won't stop hunting you down until they've murdered you in the most sadistic way possible. And when you're up against 8
Is that a Five Nights at Freddy's reference, y'all?
until they've murdered you in the most sadistic way possible. And when you're up against 8 unstoppable child-eating robots with no way to escape, what do you do? Now this one's got a whole other level under the surface, so I'm going to break down my theory on who this guy really is and why he's here, as well as the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the killer animatronics in Willy's Wonderland.
Okay.
This ex-soldier is about to have the night of his life. He's driving along the countryside, but suddenly finds all his tires have burst. Getting out of the car, he sees a spike strip on the road, and right on cue, a tow truck pulls up behind him. The driver offers him a ride and he gets in, with no idea he's just become the next human sacrifice for this town's dark secret.
This was a plot from the start.
This seems like an unfortunate coincidence, but it's not. There's nobody around for miles except this tow truck, which is just way too convenient.
That was a plan.
I would be thinking this was some kind of highway robbery, and I'm getting back in the car to protect myself. Defending yourself from inside a car is a lot easier, because the window is a narrow space to attack someone through, and you can still drive off. But unless we want to abandon the car and walk a very long way, this tow truck is our only option. If he isn't trying to rob or kill me, I'd still let him take the car into town, so I have more options to get help. They arrive at the garage, which has a bulletin board covered in missing persons reports. Not a good sign. The mechanic here says he'll charge $1,000 to replace the tires, which is super reasonable if you're Nick Cage, who once spent $150,000 on a psychic octopus. So this is practically a steal. But the guy doesn't take credit cards, and the ATM is out of order. The man has no cash on him, so he offers to let the man work off the debt. He's taken to Willy's Wonderland to meet the owner,
that's how they get you.
The man's tires if he spends the whole night cleaning this place.
That's how they get you.
The man takes a hard look at the building and accepts the deal. Okay, spending $1,000 to have one man clean the place is a waste. That kind of money could get you professional cleaners to do a much better job than some drifter. Also, this place has kid killers and Gateway to Hell written all over the walls. If it's me, I'm not stepping foot inside of this place.
I'm not going inside that.
None of this makes any business sense, and it tells me this whole thing is an elaborate setup. Instead of playing their games, I would drive the car on flat tires to the nearest residence and call AAA. But there's something more here, because the way this guy looks at the mascot tells me he just might be here on purpose and knows exactly what he's getting himself into. Inside, he knows. It's creepy as hell, with these animatronics that look like they came straight from Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's what I said.
The alligator, Siren Sarah, Cammy the chameleon, Gus the gorilla, Nighty Night, Ozzy the ostrich, Tito the turtle, and the main man himself, Willy the weasel. And this guy's a real piece of work, believe me.
I don't like the ostrich.
Becoming the official janitor for the night,
hate the ostrich the most.
Sets his clock and starts cleaning, but he's too busy to notice that the animatronics start to move. He takes a break in the kitchen where he notices a pinball machine. This guy definitely seems familiar with this thing, and he's touching it like it has sentimental value to him. But before he can play with it, his watch starts beeping and break time is over. He continues cleaning the place up, but when he turns around, he sees Ozzy the ostrich is standing right there.
I hate you, Ozzy!
He smacks the bird with the mop, but it suddenly starts attacking him and cuts his face. This animatronic has just made the biggest mistake of its life. The janitor breaks his mop in two and smashes its face in before ripping out its spine like he's playing Mortal Kombat. That's one down and 7 more.
That was easy!
Okay, this is no ordinary man. He's just taking this thing down like it was nobody's business. But if I were in this situation, I'd be totally screwed. This is him, and this here is me. For an average human being pitted against a killer robot bird, it's not gonna end well for us. But we still have a few advantages to work with here. The weakness of this animatronic nightmare is that it's constructed out of machinery, so you won't be able to bash the living crap out of it, but you might outmaneuver it because it's limited by its mechanics, which shouldn't have very much range of motion. I would throw the cloth here from the pinball machine over its face so it can't see me, and then knock its legs out from under it. It basically only has one weapon, which is its beak, so we should grab its neck as close to the head as possible. Snake handlers use the same tactic.
That way
Snakes
it
are
can't
basically
turn its
pure
neck.
muscle, but its only real source of defense is its mouth. So getting behind it and taking control of its only
neck,
attack
it can't
is
move.
the best way to stay unharmed. Once we've got a good hold of its head, I'd try twisting against the machine's range of motion, hoping to break its gears.
Pull that,
if its head is
pull
broken,
that itch
it
off.
won't be as much of a threat to us, even if it doesn't die. The janitor tapes up his wound and tosses the ostrich in a garbage bag. But when he goes to take out the trash, he discovers the front door is locked. This has turned into a proper death trap, and he has no choice but to fight his way out of here. Now, this guy doesn't look bothered by that at all. I think he's here on purpose. He doesn't just want new tires, he wants to kill these things, and there must be a deeper reason why. Now, if it's me, I have every reason to leave, but the doors are locked, so we need to start thinking about this horrifying scenario differently. We can't just run and hide from these things. We have no choice but to kill them, and every decision we make here needs to be based on that if we want to stay alive. These machines aren't being powered by electricity. They're being powered by pure evil. So we need to make sure we destroy the bodies in case they come back to life.
At least the ostrich is gone.
Look for powder-based insecticides and toilet cleaning agents possibly found in this closet here and try to make hydrofluoric acid to dissolve the bodies. But the truth is, I'm no Walter White, and inhaling the vapors of hydrofluoric acid can be fatal.
Breaking Bad
so
reference.
I'd probably end up getting as much of this duct tape as possible and binding the bodies. Duct tape can be extremely strong, and if they're wrapped tightly, it should be enough to keep them down. The janitor continues to clean, and this guy is not slacking off. He's scrubbing this place like his mom is coming over. He literally cleans the shit out of this restroom, but then starts using animatronics.
He literally cleans the shit out of the restroom.
Mom is coming over. He literally cleans the shit out of this restroom, but then starts hearing the animatronics sing a birthday song. It's creepy as hell, and the janitor shuts their power off, but then someone slams the bathroom door. He goes inside and finds a bloody message on the mirror. As he's cleaning it off, the stall doors suddenly swing shut, and the man goes over to kick them open, one by one. Then the animatronic gorilla pops out and slams him into the wall. But once he gets a hold of the plunger, it's game over. The janitor throws him across the bathroom and curb stops him against the urinal. That's 2 down and 6 more to go. Okay, at this point, these creatures should not be messing with this guy. The gorilla pushed him into the wall so hard it cracked the concrete, which should be able to withstand 3,000 pounds of force per square inch. And that's more than enough to shatter your ribcage and put you in a coma. The obvious thing to do here is to leave the bathroom, but if we couldn't, your only option is to use the environment against him. The bathroom stalls are the best place to attack him because these doors only open inwards. So if you're on the outside and he's on the inside, you have a lot more control of the situation. By kicking the door in against him, you'd be able to keep yourself safe by trapping him in the stall and also damage him in the process. This is a huge benefit because kicking someone for maximum damage requires flexibility and accuracy. And this door takes those factors away to land a hit. You can't kill him this way, but you might be able to break him enough to weaken him, which gives you a fighting chance at surviving. This time, he has to tape up his whole stomach and throws the gorilla in a body bag. But as he dumps the trash by the entrance, Willy over here is watching closely, and this time he looks pissed. Outside, a group of high schoolers arrive with cans of gasoline. They know all about the evil animatronics and want to burn this place to the ground. But Liv here stops them as she sees the janitor through the window.
Someone is
but when
inside.
she tries to convince him to leave, he ignores her. This guy definitely wants to be here.
He wants to stay there.
Until he's cleaned the whole place and killed every mascot inside. This has got to be personal. And we're about to discover who this guy really is and why he just won't quit.
Got some backstory with these animatronics.
This place should definitely go up in flames. But sprinkling some gas on the wall here isn't going to do it. The fire will spread much less quickly, and if the fire department is called, it will be put out easily. The better thing to do here is actually go inside and light these things up, as the whole place will go up in flames.
Burn it from the inside. I can see that.
Instead of just the side of the wall. But if this guy refuses to leave, then the answer is simple. Don't burn it down. He will either get killed by these things, or he'll escape. Just come back to burn it down tomorrow night. Sometimes delayed gratification really pays off. The girl decides to get him out of the building and sneaks in through these massive ventilation shafts, but doesn't realize that she's not alone. Artie the alligator chases after her, and she nearly makes it out alive, as her screams of fear alert her friends and the janitor inside. Getting worried, they plan to break in to save her, but this guy starts arguing that going inside will get them.
Is that Chris Brown?
Getting worried, they plan to break in to save her,
that
but
is Chris
this guy
Brown.
starts arguing that going inside will get them all killed. They start.
Am I tripping? It looks like Chris Brown. Let me know in the comments.
Fighting and fall straight through the ceiling. They reunite with Liv here when all of a sudden the animatronics come to life and start dancing. It freaks them all out and she runs up to attack them when suddenly the janitor stops her. But when they see Ozzy the ostrich in the trash bag, they realize that this man is a badass killing machine. He takes her knife away and they follow him to the kitchen. While these two decide to look around in the super happy fun room. Alright, they already know these things are dangerous, so if we're not escaping back through the roof, there's only one purpose of staying here.
Why would you separate?
And that's to destroy these things for good.
Right.
They should be spending every second in this place to figure out how to do that before the animatronics start moving around. They're literally just standing there waiting to be killed, and we'll never have a better chance. But if this guy won't let us harm them, I'd honestly stay in the main room, keep my eyes on the mascots, and wait until
I would stay right next to him. Wherever he go, I go.
The janitor goes on his next break. When he's gone off to play the pinball machine, we should be lighting these things on fire and climbing back out. In the kitchen, Liv here tells the janitor that this whole place is a trap. According to her, this all started in 1996. When Willy's Wonderland first opened up, it was
the bite of 96
who would routinely murder their customers. But when they learned the police were coming to arrest them, all the workers sacrificed themselves in a demonic ritual to transfer their minds into the animatronics. The owner knew about this and tried to hide its dark past from his customers, but the machine started getting violent, so he was forced to close down. Ever since, he's been running this con with the help of the townsfolk, inviting drifters to work here as janitors and feeding.
This is definitely Five Nights at Freddy's inspired, y'all.
To the machines. Okay, this explains a lot, and it gives me some ideas about who this guy here actually is.
Right.
My theory is that he was one of the kids that went to Willy's Wonderland, and something terrible happened to him and his family. The way this guy cleans could qualify as an obsessive-compulsive disorder, and he also doesn't speak a single word to anyone. Both OCD and going mute are common indicators of past trauma, and the signs don't end there. This guy's flat facial expressions are not just bad acting. This behavior is a common symptom of PTSD. He also loves his pinball machine like there's no tomorrow and drinks way too much soda. These are very childlike behavioral patterns, which could be signs of arrested development because these were the things he loved doing as a kid. The way he plays this thing tells me he's very familiar with it, which supports the idea that he's been here before as a kid and might even have the high score. Now there's one last thing. Willy's Wonderland opened in 1996, which was 25 years ago. And based on the customer demographic of this place, he was probably 10 to 12 years old when the animatronics ruined his life. That would make him 35 years old today, which doesn't look like it fits. However, studies have shown that severe trauma in children can actually make them go through puberty earlier, age faster on a cellular level, and the telomeres of their DNA shortening, which shortens your lifespan. So as crazy as this sounds, it just might be true. All this,
you know what this is telling me, y'all? Try not to stress yourselves out too much, man. You know how people get worry lines and, you know, wrinkles and stuff like that? People be stressing themselves out too much, man. Do your best to stay positive, stay optimistic, not stress yourself out too much, yeah.
This together explains why he's even here. He's staying to make sense of what happened and overcome his trauma. The fact that he actually treats this place with respect tells me he came to restore its lost innocence, reclaim his lost childhood, and he's not leaving until every single animatronic is destroyed so he can move on.
By his hands.
The kids hear music and go back to the dining room where Willy is singing a song. It's really creepy, and they're so distracted by the performance they didn't notice another one is missing from the band as this kid is stabbed through the back, and the kids split up and run for safety. With his break finally over, the janitor goes to the dining room and stops the knight from killing Liv, smashing its face into the wall before he cuts off its head. 3 down and 5 more to go. Okay,
5 more
these animatronics are vicious, but even if they're possessed by serial killers, we have to remember these are just machines underneath, and not very sophisticated ones. One of the greatest difficulties in robotics is building them to walk like humans. Even Boston Dynamics, which has developed some of the most advanced robots in the world, can't replicate the movement and the balance of a human being. And these things were made in 1996, so they're pretty basic, and that's how we beat this thing. If we expect his balance to be less stable in a walking motion, then we should go to the closet and get these cleaning solutions here to pour in a circle around him. So as long as we stay out of reach from his sword, he'll have to move forward, which catches him in his most unstable position, so he's likely to slip and fall. He shouldn't have the range of motion to get back up, so we might be able to pin him, take the sword away, and chop his head off. This geek gets cornered in another room by 2 animatronics who throw him into a foam pit and eat him alive. These mascots aren't playing around anymore. This kid runs to hide in the arcade.
Imagine being eaten alive.
alive. These mascots aren't playing around anymore. This kid runs to hide in the arcade and makes a call to the sheriff's office. He says they're at Willy's and her daughter, Liv here, is in danger. Immediately, she grabs a shotgun and goes to rescue the kids. Back in the super happy fun room, these two high schoolers are getting it on when they notice that Artie the alligator is standing in the corner of the room and staring at them. She looks away when it suddenly attacks them, and the girl runs for the door, but it's locked. Okay, needless to say, this is a bad idea. And not just because they didn't bring a condom. They know this place is haunted by serial killers, and there's nothing
you couldn't hold it in your pants until afterwards.
In the act. But this brings up a really important point. If we know they're serial killers, we might be able to use this to profile and predict their behavior. Serial killers prey on the weak and look for easy kills when nobody's watching. This is their
Michael
MO.
Myers.
That's why they don't come to life in the main room when everybody's around. They wait for people to split up and catch them when they're alone. This could be used as a strategy to predict their movements. If we can't kill them on the stage, then we need to lure these things away one by one. I would first arm everyone with a kitchen knife
so many knives
to go around, then have someone go into hiding as bait. One person should stay behind to observe when a mascot disappears from the stage, and when one of them comes alive, shout out and alert the others so they're all prepared. When the animatronic shows up, it will be ambushed by all the students. And even if the animatronic is unnaturally strong and mobile, there's enough people to gang up and take it down. Liv and the janitor hear screaming outside, but when he breaks into the room, they find the two kids are already dead. The alligator rushes to attack him, but gets his robot ass handed to him as the janitor goes to town on this thing and brutally destroys it. That's 4 down, 4 more to go. Okay, there's no way I'm tough enough to give this machine that kind of a beatdown, so we have to use some critical thinking here if we want to survive this on our own. Real alligators have incredible jaw strength with one of the most powerful bites on the planet. But due to their biomechanics, the muscles used to open their mouths are significantly weaker. And even a simple rubber band is strong enough to keep its mouth closed. Now, even though this is just a machine, it's still governed by similar laws of biomechanics. If the alligator's mouth was motored by hydraulics, for example, the bite would be very quick. But opening it would reset the hydraulic piston, making this machine weakest when his mouth is closed. I would throw one of these chairs to trigger his reflexes into biting, so he's much less of a threat. He also has virtually no way to harm you if he's lying face down. So once we tricked him into biting, the best way to deal with this thing is to get it on its stomach so its mouth and claws are facing away from you and attack him until he's too damaged to continue.
Get him from the back.
In the arcade, the chameleon searches for the kid, and her approach is different. She tells him she wants to be free from this mechanical body. It's not convincing, but the kid trusts her enough to come out of hiding.
How are you gonna trust her?
His friend arrives at the arcade just as he gets killed, and the janitor comes in, ready to take down another mascot. But then his alarm goes off, and it's time for his 15-minute break. So he leaves the girl to face off against the animatronic alone.
By herself! Why not just go walk behind him? Like, why not? What? Oh, time for break. I can't be killing any more animatronics today. You handle it, Liv.
For his 15-minute break. So he leaves the girl to face off against the animatronic alone.
Gosh.
Brutal. She struggles to fight against the machine and is totally outmatched. Knocked to the floor, the robot is about to kill her when the janitor comes back. Lassoing a cord around its neck, he slams it around the arcade and drags it out. Okay, there's no way this isn't a trap, but at the same time, this isn't exactly a great hiding spot, and she's going to find him eventually, so we have to use the killer's bluff against her. Coming out of hiding gives us a lot more options, especially if she thinks we trust her, but we have to come out with a plan of attack. If this thing is a chameleon, it's probably slower than the others. But if there's one thing chameleons are famous for, it's their snapping tongues. A chameleon's tongue can go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1/100th of a second.
What?
Now, this robot isn't that fast, but it's still pretty deadly. It's also the only weapon it has. The animatronic doesn't have any claws or teeth, so if we neutralize its tongue, we have a good chance at beating the...
If you grab one of those kitchen knives, you dodge... Well, you probably can't dodge it. But maybe you try dodging it and then cut the tongue?
I would try to catch its tongue and wrap it around the steering wheel so it can't move or attack. Then when it's at its weakest, we can pick up the knife and try to kill it. The janitor goes back to the entrance and kicks the door open, but finds the sheriff holding him at gunpoint, forcing him back inside the restaurant.
Back inside.
She's known all along about what happens here, and has come to make sure Willy gets his human sacrifice. She apologizes to the mascot while the policeman handcuffs the janitor and takes the girl back into town.
But he's taken down so many.
The girl argues with the policeman, and he stops the car to tell her off for putting the town in danger, when he suddenly gets strangled by Tito the turtle, who was hiding on top of the car. He dragged...
The animatronic left! left the building. It can it do that?
When he suddenly gets strangled by Tito the turtle, who was hiding on top of the car. He drags him out of the vehicle and kills him, but the girl has found a gun. She pulls the trigger,
shotgun.
but to her surprise, it's not even loaded. With no choice, she uses it to beat him down and
Gun
walks back to the
whips.
restaurant. That's 6 down and 3 to go.
Beat it to
Meanwhile,
death.
the janitor faces off against 2 animatronics, and even though his hands are tied behind his back, he takes them down without blinking an eye.
Oh my gosh, this
There's
man is
something
buff.
interesting here
This
in
man
the
is
way
OP.
he uses this shoulder to
Nicolas
knock him
Cage
down.
is OP,
We don't have
y'all.
any hands to fight these robots, and to a normal person, it might seem impossible. Using your legs throws off your balance, and butting heads with a robot just gets you hurt. But the shoulder actually works well here. This move can be extremely effective as a fighting tactic, like how Conor McGregor used it on Cowboy
In the
Cerrone.
UFC.
It doesn't land a stronger blow to your opponent, but it catches them off guard easily
make 'em
because
fall.
more body weight is thrown behind it, and it's completely unexpected. But it also makes me think he could be the kid we saw earlier with black hair, who was injured in the shoulder and is now intentionally using it to take them out. We never see any evidence that he has a matching scar here, so again, probably nothing. But in a FNAF-inspired movie, you never know. The janitor chokes the siren with his legs, breaks out of the hand ties, and snaps the chameleon's head off. And that just leaves the final boss fight, Willy the Weasel. He goes outside to dump the trash bag and spots the sheriff in her truck. But as he's going back to work, she holds him up at gunpoint and forces him back inside. She's pissed that the janitor has ruined the sacrifice and got 5 kids killed in the process.
But he's taking out all the animatronics. Isn't that a good thing? Sheriff is stupid. Stupid sheriff.
She's pissed that the janitor has ruined the sacrifice and got 5 kids killed in the process. That's when Willy suddenly rips her in half and attacks the janitor.
Rest in peace.
This time he can barely defend himself and gets sent flying into the ball pit. He's not dead
Willy
just
not
yet
playing.
and prepares himself for the final fight.
Okay.
Armed with a bag full of soda and a mop, he beats the animatronic into an oily pulp and rips his head off. It's official. This guy could beat 420 mode on Five Nights at Freddy's on his first try. The next morning, the mechanic shows up in the janitor's car to meet the restaurant owner. But the 2 men enter the building, and not only is the place spotlessly clean, but the 2 men are shocked to see the janitor is still alive. He takes back his keys and gets into his car, joined by Liv here, and they leave Willy's Wonderland.
Liv.
And on their way, they finish off one last animatronic and get out of the town for good.
Well, what do you think? How would you be Willy's Wonderland? Let me know with a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. And check out the How to Be playlist for more videos like this. Until next time, have a damn good day.
You too, fam. You too. Guys, I ain't beat none of those electronics, but an ostrich, I'm definitely taking down that ostrich, bro. I know I could do it, fam. I know I could. Let me know if y'all could take down any of those animatronics in the comment section, bro. Another dope video, man. Like I said, the way he breaks stuff down, and we also get like a breakdown of the movie too. Like it's good to see, bro. With the theory he had with the kid growing up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all thought of the video in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of my reaction. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.